Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GyalDem City, hosted by myself, Yan City, Yannicka, whatever you want to call me, and the beautiful Rose MCFC. Today, obviously, we're just going to discuss all things Man City. There's been quite a lot of games, so we're going to cover Spurs, Everton, and then go on to a slight preview for Arsenal tomorrow. So, Rose, we'll start with Spurs. Obviously, the last time we did this, I think we were previewing Spurs, and we were saying we weren't sure. We were hoping for a win, but we didn't think it was going to be too big a win. And yeah, it turned out to be quite an easy win at the end of the day. And yeah, a great game. So what did you think of the game?
Yeah, and I think this was another one of them matches that shocked me. Not because of how City played. I thought City were great, but because of how Spurs played and how they set up. I was expecting a bit more from them. But yeah, I'll talk about Spurs later on. Back to City. I mean, the offset, I thought Foden was just causing Davies so many problems. I mean, Cancelo as well, his balls, and then the fact that he just kept dropping into midfield, being that extra man. I just felt like Spurs couldn't really cope with us. And then I felt like it was just only a matter of time before we were going to get a goal. And it happened, Gundogan got that penalty. And then I can't lie to you, when Rodri stepped up, I was expecting him to step up. I mean, fair play, you scored it. I thought Lloris could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
With the way City are with the season, I'm going to take it regardless. But yeah, I mean, first half we were good. Second half we were even better, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what it is with Pep and what he says in at half time, but within the first 5 minutes, for some reason, we're always getting goals. And yeah, Gundogan scored, I think, in like the 50th minute of the second. And again, I thought Lloris could have done a little bit better, but I'm not complaining one bit. Every single goal. And so I was really happy that Gundogan, our man, our goal scorer, scored. I think like 2 minutes after or so. Ederson, oh my gosh, what an assist! What an assist! And then obviously Gundogan putting Sanchez to sleep, and just the goal. Everything was just that match against Spurs was just lovely. Really good performance from City. I thought Rodri again. That was one of his standout performances. I thought he was everything right. I mean, to score the penalty for us, to be breaking up play throughout that and that match. To be doing them forward passes on into the midfield. I just thought again he was exceptional, and Spurs. I don't know what it was. I think because the hype was just too much. Like, I was expecting Mourinho to, set up more defensively. I mean, when he started Lucas Moura, I thought, what? Like, I thought it would maybe go versus Doko or something. But I could feel like, from the start that we were just going to win that match. It wasn't like a Mourinho team. I thought Spurs were quite passive. I mean, let's say Kane's free kick in like the 13th minute, I think, and then obviously Gareth Bale with that shot at the end. Spurs didn't really cause us much problems. I was quite surprised. It was quite easy for us. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
it's all good.
Wallace in the building. Thank you to Wayne for the super chat as well. He says, "Big up the Queens of YouTube. Love for that." Ryan says, "Big up to Sugar Puff in the building."
This guy's a prick.
Big up to him each and every time. We'll get to the comments in a bit, but yeah, literally that game. Like, I was expecting with Spurs, it's one of them where they've been a bit of a bogey team for us recently. We do have periods, like I said in the last stream that we did. We have periods where we just can't beat them, and then they have periods where they just can't beat us. And it seems to be very equal in terms of historically and now. But yeah, it's just that game. I was not expecting that. I thought the goals, I was actually doing a watch along. So when I was watching it, I wasn't, when you're not really paying attention. So when I watched the goals back, I was like, wow, there's some fantastic goals. Obviously, the penalty, I agree with you. I was shocked when I saw Rodri, but I thought, you know what? They all miss anyway. So what's the harm? And he went and he scored it. Like, it was close to being saved, to be fair. And apparently he did say after in like an interview that Edison gave him some advice and he just ignored it and did what he was doing. So it's like, well, clearly what Edison told you was the right thing because Lloris jumped the right way. So if you did what Edison said, you probably would have scored it easily. But who knows? It went in, and that's all that matters, really. But yeah, Rodri's just been getting better and better. Obviously, the start of the season, we were saying we liked him, but a little bit slow sometimes. And I think when he is in that defence with Gundogan, it can be a little bit slow. But now Gundogan's kind of in a more attacking position, it just works better. And Rodri is more efficient in that way. And his stats this season, his stats last season were good, but his stats this season are really good. So, yeah, I'm happy with Rodri. I just think he's not a fancy footballer, and people want this whole fancy footballer who's going to do all these tricks and tricks. And with him, he just does what he says on the tin. Like, he just does his job. He doesn't care about clout and all that stuff. Like, he's just literally there to play football and do his job. And yeah, I can't fault him really. But yeah, City, Gundogan, that that assist from Edison, like honestly, that goal was just unreal. Like Sanchez on the floor heading, oh mate. Like I was just, when I watched that back, I was like, wow. Like I didn't appreciate it at the time, put it that way. But yeah, just he's unreal, and yeah, it's just madness. So obviously, we're happy about that. Moving on to Everton now.
Yeah.
A lot of City fans actually said before this game they would take a point because they could see City dropping points. And a lot of people were like, get a point at Goodison Park, go to the Emirates and try and win. Yeah. And obviously, Man City, first half, I think it looked like they were agreeing with the fans, like, oh, we'll take a draw. And then they came out in the second half and just did what City do when they're on this form. And it's crazy because the form that we're on right now kind of reminds me of the 18-19 season where we won our last 14 games. Like, it just looks like whoever is put in front of us, City are just like, yeah. Like, just, and I know it's going to end at some point. We're not going to continue for the rest of the season. But yeah, what did you think of the Everton game? Because it's just madness, isn't it?
I agree. I thought the first half, like, I don't think we were that good. I know Foden scored, but yeah, like we were creating so many chances, but like in the final third, we were just a bit off. I don't know if it was our decision making. Yeah, quite disappointed with the goal that we conceded as well. Like it was such a cheap goal. Like I thought defensively we could have done a lot better. But yeah, like you said, second half we were just so much better. And then I think Mahrez scored an exceptional goal. Like his goal again, he's just too good. Like I wish he could just be that good like all the time. Like he just needs to be more consistent. But on his day, he's just unreal. I'm not even joking. And then Bernardo topped it off as well. But I thought the Everton match was just like a routine win for us. I thought the second half we just did enough like to just win that match. And there wasn't anything that was like just too like outstanding in that match for me, but still a good result for us.
I agree. I think it's nice to see City kind of grind out wins, and I know like people will say you won 3-1, like the second half was great, but that was a game where I think last season we just settled for a draw. Like not settle for a draw as in we settled for a draw, but I think like we wouldn't go too much to win it, and City just seem to be, every time you think, this might be the game we drop points, they just seem to step it up a level. And obviously, like I love to see it, and I think the sooner we can kind of get the league wrapped up, or at least get enough points where we don't have to worry, the better, because of the other competition. So yeah, I'm hoping that we beat Arsenal. I don't know if that will be when our when our run comes to an end. Who knows? But yeah, I think as long as this continues, the better. So yeah,
the league's done. I've said this for the longest. The league's done. You know what I'm saying? I've said this for the minute. I don't know Why? Because Rose mentioned it with the Spurs game. I've watched Spurs recently, in it like closely. I watched them against Fulham. I seen them play. Who did they play? Play Chelsea. That team's gone. The players have gone. You know what I'm saying? They still have the ability to pull out a result. Say that again.
I said, how, like, they were started off so well and then all of a sudden it's just changed. I don't
You know
get
what
it.
it is? It's the Mourinho effect. I've said this before about him. If you ask any Manchester United fan or any Chelsea fan, they'll tell you about Mourinho. Mourinho, when he first come in, is brilliant when he comes in. The honeymoon period is fantastic. It's like being in a relationship. It's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? It's roses on the bed. You get me? Flowers all the time, date nights, etc. It's fantastic. But once that honeymoon period is over, it's a wrap. And that's what happened. And they're going through that. Sky did a stats, and it was like their first 12 games compared to their last 12 games. And the drop off is dramatic. Like, that's what happens with Mourinho. Them players are done. Them players are done with him already. Like when Dele Alli said, "All we do is kick it long and defend," like that's telling. So when when Yan City was worried about the Spurs game, I understand. Yeah, they're a bogey team for you. So you don't have a good record, but the form that you're in and the form they were in is telling. And you rolled them over. Same with Everton as well. Everton are a good side, but even their home form, shout out to the Blues Boys Network, is not good. Like they just got beat by Fulham there. So when you lot go in there, I'm like, you lot gonna win this game, and you won comfortably. This is why, and I hate to say this, when everyone was like, yeah, it is a very quick honeymoon period, Meeks. This was a short one, you get what I'm saying? And this was a very short one. It was great to see. But Spurs fans were talking the most. But even when, everyone was talking about this tough period, this tough February that City are gonna have. I'm like, tough period where? Yeah, Jose tax is real. Very, very real. I'm like, where you played Burnley deserve. There wasn't a game you have played this month where you're like, we didn't deserve to win. You know what I'm saying? You beat Burnley, you beat Spurs, whoever else in that period. You're going to beat Arsenal today. I mean, tomorrow. You're going to roll over Arsenal the same way you did Spurs 3-0. Maybe us, depending on which Manchester United turn up. But the league's been done. It's over with. Nah. Yours was there, no, because you lot were gassed in it. Because after you lot beat us 6-1, Spurs fans were talking the most. I remember being on match reactions with Spurs fans afterwards, and they were talking about they're gonna finish above United, we're gonna win the league, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, big up Fad Hill. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. My guy.
That's funny. But we'll get to some of the comments actually before we move on to the next game. Wayne, big up to Wayne each and every time. He says respect to the GyalDem. Comrade says big up Jan and Rose. He also says he watched the big man clip again. Basically, Rose, like we were on a Q&A on here, and my nephew was awake, so he's won. So I sat him on my knee, so he's just like chatting, like, you know, like baby talk. So we were talking about Harry Maguire, and I said to him, "What do you think of Harry Maguire?" And he went, "Shit." Like, I'm not even joking. Like, he actually said shit, right? And the thing is, yeah, he probably wasn't saying shit, right? But the other day, I accidentally like said shit. Like, something happened, and I went, "Oh shit," and he went, "Shit." So he copied me. So like, he
terrible
doesn't know
Annie,
how to say it.
Terrible.
So yeah, he actually said Harry Maguire, and it wasn't one of them where like I said, "What do you think of Harry Maguire?" and he paused and then said shit. Like straight away, he just answered it like, shit. And it was on YouTube. Like it's just madness. Like he needs to clip it for me. It's just so funny. Ryan says, "Big up to the two queens. Big up to my cupcake each and every time." Neeks is in the building. He says, "Morning, ladies. I'll give you one more win tomorrow, but after that, you need to stop winning. Please, thank you." The thing about that, Neeks, is if we stop winning, Man United will probably stop winning as well.
True.
So that's the thing. It's probably better that. It's probably better for you that we keep winning because that pushes your team to maybe win more. Who knows?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Says, "Can Arsenal do a masterclass and allow United to catch up?" Yeah, but United catching up, like I said, requires you to probably be perfect for the rest of the season and Man City to bottle it, which both of them things are a little bit unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's not impossible, but you'd probably have to get City to lose
3 games,
then beat us, then not lose a game for the rest of the season or draw a game for the rest of the season. Can Man United do that? I don't think so. Comrade said, flawless looking like Ollie when Bruno does not get a penalty. True that.
I love how you just said that and then skipped over it. That is beautiful, Yancey. Someone had us on a live stream for 3 hours yesterday, and you know what I mean? A normally hour and a half show was doubled yesterday, and that's what it is,
you
people.
could have left at any time. I was not restricting your free will.
You know what it was, but if I leave, you'll be like, see, you left me, blah, 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 to do the show by myself. You think you slick?
All right, we just muted him. So, yeah, Comrade says, Sanchez eating grass for breakfast because of Gundogan. True.
Yeah.
Ryan says, Rodri's better than Ronaldo. He's just got an agenda against his players. But it's true. That is true, at least. Neek says, Davidson Sanchez got baptised. Sola says, after we beat Burnley, Liverpool lost to Brighton, United lost to Sheffield. I wasn't worried about Spurs. Yeah, fair enough, but it's just in theory. It's like Arsenal. On paper, I'm not worried about Arsenal. Our record against Arsenal is very good. You know, we haven't lost to them for a while in the league and stuff like that. But it's like it's not impossible. Do you know what I mean? A lot of Liverpool fans were saying City never beat us at Anfield. I can see us winning 4-1, 3-1. We always beat City at Anfield, and it didn't happen. So this season is a bit of a strange one. Like, it's not one of them seasons that you can predict, like, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. I think City are in fantastic form right now, and Arsenal are just about coming back a little bit in terms of their form. So, yeah, it's not guaranteed. Like, as much as I want to be like, yeah, we're going to go and smash Arsenal at the Emirates, like, you just don't know. And, you know, anything can happen. And that's the reality of it. Kamasola also put a heart. We got to you. Liam said, did you sleep well after the late one? Do you know,
baby?
I didn't get enough sleep, but to be honest, the only thing that happens with me is if I don't sleep a lot, I get like a mad cold. So that's what I've woke up with. And like, it'll go in about an hour's time. But yeah, I always wake up with that. So yeah, that's Nick says 18-19 season, so you'll get knocked out the Champions League to a fourth place London team, Chelsea. Oh, no, we won't. I don't think they will be in the Champions League much longer, to be honest. But to be honest, I'm not even complaining if Chelsea win, because for me, Atletico are one of the favourites.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying City are going to go and win it, because you know City in the Champions League, but if they can knock out Atletico, it does make it a little bit easier if we do go on to the end. So yeah, I'm not really complaining if Chelsea win that, to be honest. But obviously City tend to beat themselves in the Champions League, to be fair. Ryan said Mahrez is clear of the Egyptian Dan James.
Hey, Ryan, man, less of that. Ryan, less of that, you get what I'm saying? Because the thing is with Dan James, yeah, you get me? Mbappe did his thing in Europe. Then it was over to Haaland. Then what did Dan James do, man? Dan James said, hold my beer, goal and an assist in Europe and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. But it was Europa League. And
hey, you know. It's Europe. It don't matter, innit? It's still Europe and that.
Yeah, but the Egyptian Dan James that he's talking about actually scored in the Champions League. So there's a gap between the two anyway. But
fluke, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Ryan chill. Mahrez can't chat to Salah. Debatable, you know.
Yeah, we know you don't rate Mahrez. We know this. We know this.
No. The thing is, yeah.
Here we go.
Mahrez at City hasn't been as good as Salah has been at Liverpool. That is a fact.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if roles were reversed, they'd be saying, as good as Salah is for Man City, Mahrez won the league with Leicester. Yeah. Whereas when Salah was at Chelsea, I think he did win the league with Chelsea, but he didn't play a part in it. Whereas Mahrez was one of the main men in that squad that won Leicester the league. So yeah, I don't think it's a conversation of Mahrez can't chat to Salah. Salah, however, has been much better in the Premier League at Liverpool than Mahrez has been at Man City. But I think if you put Mahrez at Liverpool, he's scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah.
So I think it's just City's squad Mahrez gets a little bit shut out. And this is what I say. It's not that I don't rate Mahrez. It's just Mahrez at City hasn't been at his best. Like, if Mahrez is at, like, when he was at Leicester, Mahrez was unplayable. Like, at City, yes, he's still the great player that he was at Leicester, but I don't see him as, like, unplayable. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's not quite as effective in a City team. But we get moments of brilliance from him, like we got at Everton, like we've had in the past. Do you know what I mean? The last time we won the league, he scored a key goal in that Brighton game, which won us the league. Like, he scored quite a few key goals for us and stuff like that. But he's not like Salah, where it's like every week you're seeing a goal, every week you're seeing an assist. Like, it's not really like that. Camasola says, Bernardo, magnificent. Yes, he always steps up, to be fair to him. Ryan saying, Salah is a fraud, trust me. And Neek says, I can't trust you, what's your sources? That's so funny. Vignesh says, Mahrez's left foot is better than Salah's.
Oof.
Is he right-footed naturally, Salah, or left-footed? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know Mahrez's left foot is just
yeah. Ryan says, I don't even class us as champions anymore. The league is completely done.
Oh gosh, Ryan. It was all bound to happen. Did you think you were just going to carry on?
Do you know what's so funny about it though? Like, literally, like, when we won the league and we went back to back,
yeah,
I was like, oh, obviously City fans were buzzing, like, we've gone back to back, like, because it's funny, because when we won the league the first time, they said, that's nothing. You need to be doing it back to back before we can see you a great side. So City, after breaking every record pretty much, apart from about 3 different records, which was Chelsea's defensive record, Arsenal's invincible season, and I think there was one more that we didn't break, but literally we broke a lot of the records. And they said City have to go back to back. So City went back to back. Exactly. Then the goalpost moved again. Oh, you need to go back to back to back. And it's just like the goalpost keeps moving. Yeah. So when Liverpool won it, I hold them to the same regard. Like, if you're going to go win the league, you didn't get 100 points. You didn't break. I think they matched one of our records, which was the biggest gap between first and second. But that was it. So I was like, well, they need to, surely if we had to go back to back, then they have to go back to back. And everyone was saying they're going to do it. The start of the season, people were saying, yeah. It's actually interesting. If Neeks is still in the comments, we actually did like a pre-season preview.
Yeah.
And we actually, like, we were saying at the start of the season, like, who do you think is going to win the league? So I was like, I think City will win it. Like, I've said that since the start of the season. The only time that I thought we wouldn't win it was when we drew to West Brom. Yeah. And I was like, City are not going to win this league because we just didn't look up for it. Our results weren't great. We were halfway down the table. Like, we just weren't great. And, yeah, I thought at that point City wouldn't win it. But before that and after that, I've always thought we've got a chance. And yeah, like the start of the season, one of Neeks' friends, I can't remember his name, but he basically said that he thinks City will win it by about 15 points.
Yeah, wow.
Everyone ridiculed him, saying, what are you talking about? Liverpool are going to be right up there if they don't win it. Liverpool are going to win it. Like, it's mad. Like, at the end of the season, if City do win it by like 15 points or something daft like that, like, I want to go back and watch that because the way people reacted to him, and he was like, City will be clear. And I was like, do you know what? I don't think we'll be clear, but I think we will win it. But he might be right. Who knows? Like, at the end of the season, we'll see. And also ads from GNA TV. Make sure you go subscribe to them. He actually said Liverpool wouldn't make the top 6.
Really?
Something like that. At the start, Liverpool at this time were like top of the league. And he was like, Liverpool will not finish. And it's just like all these crazy things that were said.
Yeah.
Like, isn't sounding that crazy now. Like, I'm not saying it's going to finish like that. I think Liverpool will pick up form and go up the league a little bit. But yeah, like these wild shouts at the start of the season are not looking that wild now. And it's just like, this is the thing with the Premier League. Like, people will say, oh, it's not as good anymore and it's this and that. But it's like, for a team to win the league and then potentially finish sixth, like, it's mad. Like, it's madness. You just can't predict anything. And I think, like, City always get discredited because, like, even last season, like Klopp was saying yesterday, I think it was, that, like, Man City know that if it was a normal season, Liverpool wouldn't be this far behind them and all this. But it's like, actually, shut up, Flawless.
That was an accident, man. Jeez. Yeah, I'm just trying to navigate on the phone. You can see I'm on my phone and that. You know, see how she treats me, Rose. It's terrible and that. Go on. Carry on, Yan City.
Like Liverpool, unlucky though, like with their injuries.
Yeah, like the thing is, I'm not taking that away from Liverpool. Like, I think that it's true what he's saying. Liverpool wouldn't be that many points behind with injuries. The thing that I don't like about it is City last season wouldn't have been that far behind if things were different for City. And it's just like, we weren't given that as an excuse. We were told, well, you know, if you don't have a centre-back, that's your problem. Like, you're going to have to just play Fernandinho. And we did. And our midfield kind of collapsed a little bit because Fernandinho wasn't there. Rodri wasn't in the form that he's in this season. Gundogan wasn't in the form that he's in this season. Like, we didn't have, you know, Aguero for a lot of it, who is our main striker. Like, we didn't have De Bruyne for bits of it. Like, we've had, like, injuries affect us, but it wasn't seen as an excuse. It wasn't like, oh, well, like, Man City, you know, that maybe they wouldn't have finished so many points off Liverpool. It wasn't that. It was Pep's a fraud, City is shit, blah, blah, blah. And that's what was said. You know?
Yeah, calling Pep a fraud. Like, that's...
Yeah.
How can you call Pep a fraud? Like, think about it. Think about it.
He just went back to back and they called him a fraud in the next season because Klopp was a bit clear of him in the league. Like, and this is why, like, as much as Liverpool have injuries, yes, it's kind of like, if Pep's a fraud for finishing that many points behind, then why can't we have this same energy for Liverpool? Yeah. And I'm not even saying Klopp's a fraud because he isn't, clearly. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, this is a league, and if you're not prepared and you get injuries, that falls on you as a club. And this is what happened last season. We weren't kind of given that excuse, like, oh, Laporte's out, blah, blah, blah. It was, you've got Otamendi. You spent money on Otamendi, play him. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we did. And obviously, you saw how the season went. It wasn't great. So, I don't know. We'll get to some more comments, and then we will move on to Arsenal. MVAFC says run comes to an end. City will get the result tomorrow. Believe that. Zayn says Arsenal are going to win tomorrow. The thing is, yeah, like I said, even if Arsenal win tomorrow, Newcastle will probably win as well. So I don't think it will really make too much of a difference. If anything, Arsenal will probably just finish closer to United than they would have finished if we'd have won. 1 second. Oh Lord, the comments always move. 1 sec. Neek says big up Flawless. He's gone now. Taekwon says Rose with heart eyes. 187 Gangster Crit says big up the GyalDem and Flawless. Big up to you. Ryan said big man didn't even hesitate to say shit when you asked him about Maguire. He didn't, to be fair. It's so funny. I actually miss him. Cavasola says anti-Yan. Yeah, I know. Neek says Yan is a terrible influence. I've been telling you.
Big facts. Fully agree. Big facts. That is the realest thing he's ever wrote. That is facts. 1,000,000%.
Whatever. Vignash says Yan staying humble. Do you know what? I think it's just City fans in general. Like, you don't really find too many arrogant City fans.
Yeah. True.
And the arrogant City fans that you do like find, a lot of them, they haven't supported City for the longest amount of time. Like, it tends to be, you get confident City fans. Like, my dad is a confident City fan. If my dad was here now, he'd be saying we're going to beat Arsenal 5-0. Like, he's like that. But yeah, a lot of City fans that he still would be humble. Do you know what I mean? It's just like he's got higher expectations, you know. But I think it's because he's seen City be great at 2 different periods of his life, whereas I've only seen it now. So yeah, it's different. Ryan says, hopefully Alisson. That's an Alisson impression because I can't do it. Flawless.
Oh, you when he was on the watch along, he's like, Alisson, Alisson.
Yeah, hopefully Alisson doesn't screw up today again.
Yeah,
I hope he does, to be fair. Vignesh says Pickford surely going to screw up today.
One of them will, definitely. Like, that's written in the stars for one or both of them.
It's more likely to be Pickford than it is Alisson. I think Alisson will be if he F's up in a Merseyside derby to like put Everton on the same points as Liverpool. Like, he's going to have a lot more to deal with than he had when he screwed up against Man City. So you better be careful. But yeah, I don't think it'll be him. It'll probably be Pickford again. Or he might take out another player. Who knows? Ryan says Dan James has a better first touch than Salah.
My God.
Camasol is showing you some love, Flawless. He's giving you a heart. I don't even know where he is. Taekwon says, take goals away from Salah and he's just Adam Johnson. That's the sort of opinion that Ryan will agree with. Vignesh says, Mahrez doesn't play as often as Salah. That's why some stat merchants say Salah is better than Mahrez. Yeah, I think what Mahrez has done in the league can't be sort of forgotten. And I think a lot of people feel like forget about it and say like, oh, well, Salah's got X amount of goals. But I don't know. I just think if you put Mahrez in that Liverpool side, his stats are probably going to be as impressive. So yeah. I just don't. I think the comparisons are not really as fair. Like, Mahrez for Algeria is unreal. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't really watch Egypt, but I'm sure Salah's a good too, to be fair. But yeah, I think he's a bit underrated, Mahrez, because he plays for City.
Yeah.
MB says Mahrez is one of the best wingers in the Prem, a baller. True. MB also says, Flawless, you look dead, tired, zombie FC. You need to learn to take a break. Kit Kat settings. Yeah, he's only on this because I told him he has to come on. So that's why he's probably gone back to sleep now. That's probably why his camera's like that. THFC Max says, a swap deal for Mahrez will give you winks. We're good, thanks. The only person I'd take for Mahrez is Son.
Yeah.
Ryan says, what happened to Ziyech at Chelsea? I don't know, because he was doing well. And then he came back from his injury and apparently he's fallen off a cliff. So I don't know. Do you watch Chelsea at all?
Really, I think I watched them, you know, when we faced them. And I've watched a bit of them, you know, under Tuchel. And I just feel like maybe they're just playing better without these new players. Like, I know Werner still plays here and there, but I think he's just gone back to basics. He's just gone back to, you know, players that he trusts. I don't think he trusts Ziyech that much. I don't know. It's a weird one. I think he would rather play Hudson-Odoi instead of Ziyech. So I think it's just his preference, maybe.
Yeah. And I think when he came back from injury, obviously it was under Lampard. And I think he wasn't impressing. So we don't know what's happening in training, but I think it's to do with that. Like, it's probably preference. But Hudson-Odoi is a great player and he wasn't playing enough. So, yeah, I don't know what will happen there long term. Neek says, you don't need to go back to back to back. Only Fergie can twice. Well, that says it all. Only Fergie did it. So, twice. So, do I think Pep can do that? Yeah. But he would have to stay longer, and I don't know if he's going to do that. Like, I don't know. Taekwon says you will never break United's treble season. I'm moving the goalpost now. The thing is, everyone keeps moving the goalpost, and whenever they move it, Pep just meets it. So yeah, keep moving it. Pep will keep meeting it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Or if not Pep, City. The thing is, like, that treble season, it's one of them things where Man United in the league, okay, in the Champions League, obviously good. And yeah, I don't know, like a season like that, I think if we get like a Chelsea in the final, I could see City winning that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I could see City winning that. I could see City winning the league. You know, like, I don't know. I think I would never say never with City because they said we would never win the Premier League. We won the Premier League. Fergie said that the domestic treble was impossible.
Yeah.
We've won the domestic treble. So, you know, there's a lot of things that people said City would never do, and they've done it. Same here with Fadil says, Yan City, you should win the Champions League before you can talk to us. You will always be in our shadow. City are our Manchester version of Everton and Tottenham. It's interesting that you say that because the thing is, for one, there is only one club in Manchester. That's a fact. If you're talking Greater Manchester, yeah, you can go in there with Bolton, you know, Wigan, all the rest. But yeah, like, it's one of them things, like, Man City will win the Champions League. It's a question of when, not if.
Yeah.
So that's the reality of it. We will win it. I don't know when. When we do win it, you're only going to say, well, we've won it 3 times. So it's just the goalposts are going to constantly be moved. And to be honest, am I happy watching City pick up a title every season? Yes, I am. So I'm not really too bothered. We will win the Champions League eventually. And when we win it, you'll move the goalpost again. So to be honest, I don't really care. Everyone talks about how Man United are bigger than City because they've got more Champions Leagues and all this crap. But then you don't want to have the conversation that Liverpool are bigger than you because they've got double the amounts of Champions League. So, yeah, the goalposts always move. And at the end of the day, as long as City are picking up trophies, like, I couldn't really care less, to be honest, because the Champions League will come eventually.
Completely agree.
It happened with Chelsea. You know, Jose Mourinho left. It's like, oh, will they ever win the Champions League? They did. So, you know, I don't know. I think City will win it kind of when they least expect it. I think it'll be a season where City think, yeah, got no chance in the Champions League. And they go and prove everyone wrong. Who knows? It might even be in a season like this when it's a weird season. Who knows? Like, I can't call it. I think with City, it's a bit of a mentality problem because we haven't won it. I think if City had won the Champions League in, like, I don't know, 95 or something, I think our players would see it differently, and I think we would have won it already, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. Ryan says we're the worst champions of all time. Our stupid fans will understand that we're playing on Thursdays next season. You know what? Who knows? I think Liverpool will get back up there. So we will see. Just get some of these comments and then we'll move on to Liverpool. Fadil says, Yan City, Pep is called Fraudiola because he never won the Champions League without Messi and Henry. Yeah, but you say he's never won it without Messi and Henry. He's won it as a player, so technically that's not true. And also, the thing is with Pep is he stayed for 3 years. If Fergie stays at Man United for 3 years, Fergie doesn't win the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so you've got to think of it that way. It took Fergie 4 years to win a trophy, full stop. And I know, yeah, it was a different situation. I'm not dumb. But the reality is, if a manager stays for 3 years, the chances of them winning it decreases. If Pep stays at Bayern for 5 years, Pep wins the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The squad that he put together won the Champions League with very little players coming in. So it just shows that they would have won it. But I just don't think he stayed long enough. Pep came in and won the Champions League in his first season with a very young Messi. So these people saying, oh, he's not won it without Messi. Who made Messi the way Messi was? You can ask Messi himself. He'll tell you. So, yeah. And you say Henry, like Henry was winning Champions Leagues before. Wasn't true either. So, yeah, that's not going to run. And the thing is, if he wins it with City, what are you going to say? You're not going to call him the best manager ever. You're going to call him Pep Guardiola because he didn't go back to back to back.
We'll come up with something new.
I'm not really interested in haters. Like, Pep was the best manager ever when he was linked with Man United. All of a sudden, he's the best manager ever. You know, he won the sextuplet. He won this, he won that. He's the only guy who could beat Fergie in back-to-back seasons and all this crap. And then all of a sudden he comes to Man City and it's average, fraudiola, can't win without money, can't win without Messi. Like, I ain't trying to hear it, you know. Question for Sugar Puff for you, Ryan. From Ryan for you, Sugar Puff. He said, do you rate Europa League music?
I don't even know what the Europa League music is. I don't pay any attention whatsoever in it. No idea. You can tell me next season when you lot are in it, like you said, in it.
Conrad, I can tell that you're not from Manchester by this comment. Like, if you're from Manchester,
wait, what?
You're red or blue. Like, there is no going back and forth. Like, literally, in a City fan household, if you support Man United, your family are looking to kick you out. It's not, you can't switch from City to Man United. You can't, even if City went into liquidation and all of City's players joined Man United, I would still not support Man United. I would still, even if the starting lineup was the complete City 11, I would still not support Man United. So this whole, City fans used to support United. I don't know a single City fan who supported United. I don't know a single United fan that supports City. Like, it just doesn't happen. Maybe in other parts of the world, maybe in other parts of the country, people can switch from one to another. But in Manchester, it's a no-no. If there were fans at the derby today, Pickford would be getting so much stick. That's true, actually.
I agree.
Ryan says, our two best performances this season have been at home to Leicester and away to Palace. Salah didn't start in any of those games, but apparently we rely on him too much. Fraud. Yeah, but to be fair, Salah's been the only guy on the team sheet, on the score sheet recently when you've been winning. So
Therefore a fraud. I'm with that. Therefore a fraud in that. Look at your title defense, man, innit? I'm with that. Yeah, I mean, not with him. I'm saying with Klopp as well and that, innit? Manager, the other levels to this manager stuff is different in that when you're not on top. I'm saying 20 points behind in that. Last season, the league was done before Christmas. This season, it was done before Christmas and that. Levels to this shit.
Yeah, before Christmas, we weren't even anywhere near the top.
Whenever it was Christmas period, whenever in it. Whenever I said I need to go back and check that out, I was saying before you lot played Liverpool that the league was done. I was saying it back then. You know what I'm saying? There's clips, there's streams of me saying that and other people saying that. I knew you lot were going to beat Liverpool. This league's been done. Like last season, it was done. Shit's over, innit? Show's over.
Nash says Pep won promotion with Barcelona beating came to Barca and won sextuple with Barcelona team, which finished third in the previous season, haven't won a trophy for 2 years. The disrespect Pep gets. Yeah, people go on like he walked into a prime Barcelona that were winning everything, and it just wasn't.
Was he there? Wait, he was there after he went after Rijkaard, so his side was the 08 one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because Rijkaard's was Ronaldinho, right. I just obviously, yeah. Go on, continue. I was just checking.
What it was is, it's kind of like, say for example, Liverpool don't win the league this year and next year, and then someone comes in and they take Liverpool to another level and go and win like 6 trophies. Like, people will be saying, wow, like Liverpool, even though they won the league in 1920, they hadn't won anything for 2 years. So you kind of have to give that manager ratings. But Pep just like, people act like he walked into Bayern Munich this season when they've just won 6 trophies and did the same. Do you know what I mean? It's not like that.
Yeah.
So he just doesn't get the credit. He was getting the credit before he came to City. And I feel a little bit sorry for him.
Nah, the thing is, that's credit to him, though. The reason why he gets so much stick is because of the level he's at. When you're the creme de la creme.
Too high when he came in and won a treble in his first season. He has set the standard.
That's what it is. That's why Fergie will still get stick. Klopp will get it. So when people see these managers fall off a little bit, rivals are going to jump all over it. And that. Like, I'm all over. Like, Klopp's a good manager, but that ain't going to stop me from slandering him. I mean, United fan, he going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, same with Pep. I know how good Pep is. But last season Pep wasn't good, so you gonna get it. Like I don't know when this is gonna happen again. And look how he's come back with a vengeance this season. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
I was saying this all last year. Like, all right, now Klopp took the crown from Pep. Will Pep bounce back? Pep's bounce back. I'm expecting Klopp to do this next season. I'm expecting a fight between you two, like because these men are very competitive. They're both extremely good managers, so their professional pride is gonna be here. So it's good. Next season is gonna be interesting. Like I always say, it's easier to be the hunter than it is the hunted. Because once you're the team to beat, teams like set up specifically to stop you. You're the big scout now, especially when you're trying. It happened to Liverpool last season. It will happen to you lot when you lot win the league next season. You're the big scalp again, so it'll be interesting.
Always. Vignes MB says, "I'm Pep FC and people have agendas against that man. I don't know why it is baffling. Yeah, I think it's just like Flawless said. He set a standard probably too high." THFC says, "We haven't won a trophy for 12 years. Just let us win the Carabao Cup." We're good, thanks. Zayn says, "Man City have no chance winning the Champions League. You may never win it. You may never win it again. So who knows? We will see." Ryan agrees with me. He said, "United aren't even in Manchester. They're in Salford. People learn their geography. And how a city like Everton, City win trophies. Everton can't even win pre-season trophies." You know what? Another thing, I wouldn't speak too soon because Everton look like they're on the come up. So we will see.
Give them some time.
Yeah, I think they're a shout for the FA Cup, to be honest. I'm hoping not because it means we have to get knocked out. But yeah, at the start of the season, I was saying that I could see them winning the FA Cup. If people rule out Pep's Champions Leagues because he had Messi, then rule out Fergie's 2008 Champions League win because he had Ronaldo. Yeah. Fergie had the best Premier League side of all time.
At the time.
Only won it twice or 3 times. I think he won it once before. So like twice, 3 times with that team. So if he only wins it, you know, does that mean Zidane is better than him because Zidane went back to back to back? Like, come on now. Like, it's just this whole Champions League agenda that everyone's got is it's throwing Fergie under the bus as much as it is throwing Pep. Because Pep matched within 2-3 years of management. Pep matched what Fergie did in most of his time at Man United. So, yeah, them sorts of arguments actually, even though it sounds like you're discrediting Pep, you're actually putting Pep on a higher pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Am I the only one that rates the Premier League more than the Champions League? Or, like, I think he said that Jason Mourinho did an interview recently and literally, literally winning, the Premier is more like the reward is more than winning the Champions.
Yeah.
It just shows that you've been consistent like throughout the whole entire season. I think even when Zidane won the Champions League back to back to back, still wanted to win the La Liga and then win the Champions League in addition to the La Liga.
Yeah.
I get it, but I still think the Premier League, like people put emphasis on the Champions League, but the Premier League is better. But it's just
that's the thing. But it's the only stick that they can beat City with right now. But Pep says it, Zidane says it, Jose Mourinho says it.
Yeah,
I am 100% sure if you asked Alex Ferguson, he would say the same things. How can 4 of the best managers in the world say something, but these Man United fans think something else? Like, come on now. Like, I get that you've won it, great, but you really think that this Man City team are not going to win it? Really?
Yeah.
The way our club is run, if you know anything about City, it's a question of when, not if. And the thing is, you all said we wouldn't go back to back, we wouldn't win the league, we wouldn't do the domestic treble, we wouldn't do this, we wouldn't do that, and City are just proving everything wrong. So we will see. And these people that say anyone can win this and anyone can win that, well, why isn't anyone winning it? Why didn't Fergie win it? Best manager in the Prem. Why didn't he win it? If it's that easy to win, why isn't he winning it? Ryan says, I wouldn't swap Klopp for any manager in the world. Yeah, I think Klopp works perfectly for Liverpool, to be honest. Malcolm says, hey, Sugarpuff. You do know that he's talking to me, but like technically Flawless' name is Sugarpuff and he's in the stream. Hey, Rosie.
Hey.
Ryan says the reason why I love the Champions League won in 2019 is because we were so good in the league as well, even though we didn't win it.
Yeah.
Any of them would have won both. True.
No, completely agree.
MB says, Yana told you previously City have taken out a loan for the FA Cup, and as an Arsenal fan, we wouldn't want to borrow it to anyone else. Please win it, Barrow FC. Yeah, we will see. Moving on to Arsenal now. Obviously, we play Arsenal tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who do you think Pep will go with? Obviously, it's always hard to do a lineup, but yeah, who do you think Pep will play tomorrow?
I think he's going to go with Edison, Cancelo, and then here I don't know now because he started to change it a little bit. I think he played Laporte against Everton instead of. So I was quite surprised about that. So I think he might go back to just playing Stones and Diaz. I'm not sure. And then I'm hoping he starts Zinchenko. I thought we missed Zinchenko a little bit. Is Gundogan back? I think Pep said he might be back. I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah, so I think he might play Gundogan, or he will just play KDB and play Rodri and still Bernardo. I would still play Bernardo Silva, even though KDB's back.
Yeah.
And then up front, I'm not sure. I think he might go with Sterling. Mahrez, you can't really drop Mahrez. Mahrez is playing well. And then, I don't know. Foden, maybe. And then maybe Raheem in the middle. I'm not sure. Might start Jesus. Do you know what? Like, there's a lot of everyone. Well, there's it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to actually pick the starting 11 now because everyone's actually playing really well. So yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think because he played against Tottenham, he played Stones and Laporte.
Yeah.
Then against Everton, he played Diaz and Laporte. So I think it will be Diaz and Stones, just based on how he's rotated it. Plus, I think we don't tend to concede as many when Stones is in the side as we do when it's either Diaz or Laporte. So yeah, I think he will put Stones in there. Yeah, I agree with you in terms of the rest of the lineup. Obviously, Charlie said it here. He says Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, Zinchenko. I think that will be the back line and the defense. Rodri in midfield, yeah. De Bruyne. I think he will play De Bruyne simply because he brought him on against Everton, and I think that was to get him match fit for the next game. So yeah, I think he will. Plus, De Bruyne likes the Emirates, so I think he will play De Bruyne. Bernardo. I think he'll stick with Bernardo. The only thing is, I think because Gundogan's been out, I think he will bring Gundogan on and take De Bruyne off. So I think one will get like 50 minutes, and the other one will get whatever time is left. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think they'll end up with about 50 minutes each with extra time. So I can see that happening. Sterling always starts really, and he scored the winner against Arsenal last time. So yeah, definitely will play Sterling. I'd like to see Foden. I think after that goal from Mahrez, he might play Mahrez, but then he does like to rotate. If they play midweek, he'll play someone else at the weekend. So yeah, we might even see like Ferran Torres or someone like that. But yeah, we will have to see. Ryan says, I'm so jealous of Yana Rose. They're in the position that I was in last season where I knew we had the league wrapped up.
League's done, hard. Man. I've been saying this. It's over.
With Charlie. Yeah, do you know what? It's just getting through these games, because as much as people say it's wrapped up, like if you lose 2 games, like people are close. Like it's not as far as people make out. Yes, we're quite far from Liverpool.
And you look like 10 points clear of like second place.
10 points
clear. So even if you lose 2 games, let's say for instance you lose 2 games and United or Leicester win 2 games, it's still 4 points. It's still a win and a draw away.
So then if you beat us, that's 1 point. You telling me
no threat.
1 point in like 10 games? Like, come on now.
We defo can, but you don't believe Manchester United can do it with this manager. Nobody does. Let's keep it real, innit?
The thing is,
nobody does.
I don't think on paper the way the season's gone, we played 24 games and we've lost 2. We've drawn about 5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Something like that. So on paper, if we continue how we have been playing this season, even going back to the bad times at City, even if we drop off at the end, we still should get over the line, technically. But
Definitely.
my issue is if we aren't 10 points clear when we go into the derby, if it's close when we go into the derby, that gives Man United the momentum. And as much as I don't think you can do it, we have seen it happen before. We've seen it in 11-12. United, I think, were 9 points clear, 8 points clear, something like that. We beat them and went on to win the league. So as much as I don't think it's likely, it's possible. And I don't want it to be a possibility, especially when we've got games in the FA Cup, games in Europe to focus on. I don't want in the back of our minds to think, oh, the league's not wrapped up. Like, yeah.
It's not impossible, but it's the closest thing to it. I don't know what the word is underneath impossible, but it's the closest thing underneath in it. We are not, trust me, we're not a threat whatsoever in it. Like, I'm telling you this right now, like, it's not going to happen. Like, we could beat you and then lose to Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I actually think Man United have a good chance against Man City, simply because
definitely.
If you lose that, it's title done.
Yeah.
Well, I think you do have a good chance because United do like to show up time to time.
See, Ryan said it there. Look at Ryan's button. He said it there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
I do agree, but I'm just arguing that it's not impossible. So as much as it's very unlikely, I agree with you. I said all season, even when Man United were top, I was like, Man United will not win the league. And I was that when City were like 3rd, 4th, 5th, I was saying Man United will not win the league. And I still agree with that. But it's just one of them things where it's not impossible. So right now, are we likely to win the league? Yes. Is it possible that we don't? Also, yes. But yeah, I agree. I've said all season, if City drop points, United will drop more. And I have said that. Even Jeremiah says the league is done. When Jeremiah says that, it's done. It's true, but then he did say yesterday that they can win it. So he's changing his mind a little bit.
Jeremiah's smoking bath salts, innit? Allow him, innit? He's younger than that. That's what it is. And he's young as well. Like he said, when he said he's younger, he's like, right, I'm a United fan. I've never seen United win the league in my lifetime.
Oh, hasn't he?
I understand it. I don't think so. Or he might have been young the last time it happened. Because he's not that old. I swear he's a teenager. So it's like, I get it.
I don't know.
He's like 18. I think he's like 18.
Yeah.
Something like that. The last time United won the league, like, he's a kid, so I get it. And he's like, I want United to win the league more than anything. I'm like, I hear you in it, but just not with this manager in charge. But literally, I've said this about United. We're literally a good manager away from being able to compete because the squad is there. It's just the manager that's the big problem. Oli Tax is hefty. Very hefty.
Yeah. Charlie said 3 months ago we were 14th and everyone wrote us off. It's true. And the thing that I always say about City is, like, don't worry about City. Like, last season, I could see that we weren't going to win the league. I think that Spurs game where we drew 1-1, our heads went down and we just weren't great after that. And then Laporte got injured, I think, in the next game, and it was just downhill from there, literally. And I think it was in that Spurs game that Laporte got injured, actually. Either that or the game after. But yeah, like, it just, after that, City just capitulated in that season. And I could see they weren't going to win it. But usually, like, I don't rule City out until it's mathematically impossible for us to win it, because I've seen Man City go on big runs at the end of the season. And I actually think City tend to finish the season quite strong.
We get better.
Yeah, even last season when Liverpool were running away with it, at the end of the season, we still managed to turn up, beat Liverpool. We won quite a lot of our games towards the end of the season. So I actually think City will get better at the end. That's why I did say, even if City drop points, I feel like we'll dip and then we'll go back up again at the end. So yeah, I think the season will be ours. But yeah, I thought it was 1-1. Maybe it was 2-2. Who knows?
Jesus' goal was ruled out, remember, because of VAR.
Yeah. Just the worst. Just the worst thing.
It ruined our season.
Yeah, it did. That
VAR. I love that. That was great. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Ryan said before last season, last time my club had won the league, my parents were still in school. Ah, bless you.
And let's hope you don't win the league. You get me? Until I don't know, your kids are in school or something, Ryan. In it, you know what I'm saying? We don't need no Liverpool titles. We don't need that.
My mum was what 20. 27 or something. No, she's not that old. Yeah, 27, I think. When Liverpool.
No, you just gonna put your mum. You're just gonna put your mum's age all out there. You know what's wrong with you?
Why? I'm fit. She's not gonna be young, is she?
That's besides the point, isn't it? If you say you out here lying about your age, so it is what it is. But yeah,
she don't look as old as she is. But yeah, it took her. That's peak. That's like me not seeing City win the league again till I'm in my 50s. Ah, mate. 60. I'd be 60 if City went that long. Mate, nah. Hopefully not. Never. Jan, surely you ruled City out of the race last season when we were 100 points clear. Yeah, you weren't quite 100 points clear at any point, but yeah, you were clear. Please, plus when we win the Carabao Cup, that will give us even more momentum. Yeah, it's annoying that the Carabao Cup isn't when it normally is. It's not until April.
Yeah.
So by April, I'm hoping that the league is wrapped up already, to be honest. Normally, the Carabao Cup pushes you on to win the league, but this season, it's looking like the league will probably be won before the Carabao Cup, which is great because that means we go into that game not having to think like, even though we'll want to win it to make it like a double season. Do you know what I mean? It's the pressure is right off us if that's the case. Vignesh says today win the league. I want everyone who called Pep Guardiola and said Jose is back after Spurs result to apologise.
Who was saying that? Who was saying that?
So many
people saying that.
Yeah, you. Jose's back.
Yeah.
Talking about Spurs fans, obviously.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just saying that's wild. That's a wild statement. Tuesday, I did hear Spurs saying that, but I didn't hear the Pep Guardiola mixed in with that. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, when we beat Spurs, they were saying the most amount of stuff. City ain't gonna win the league. Blah blah blah. Same crap. Sugar Puff, just for saying that. The next time we win the league, the first person I'm getting onto is you. It's all right. You can do a full day stream on this channel.
The thing is though, if Liverpool win the league, that means Pep don't win it, so I can get onto him. If City win it, I can get onto Klopp in it. So either way, I can win somewhere in it. Somebody getting it. Y'all both can't win the league.
What if one wins the league and one wins the Champions League? Then what you
that
saying?
happened. I don't know, slander Arsenal. You know what I'm saying? There's always a way out of it. I just slander Arsenal. I'm saying somebody will get it. There's somebody to get it. It's not Arsenal, Leeds, Newcastle, Chelsea. Somebody with Spurs. Someone's there to take it, innit? Someone will take the flak. Everyone could be successful.
Long bit.
At a wheel with no license.
Before we wrap up, speaking about Arsenal, before we go, score predictions, because obviously it's we've not done that yet. But yeah, what do you think the score will be?
It's a tough one, isn't it? I think with Arsenal, they're just inconsistent. So it just literally depends on the Arsenal side that turns up. Arteta still doesn't know he's starting 11. I think only against Benfica did they have the same, unchanged lineup as they did against Leeds.
Yeah.
It really just depends. I mean, I've watched them against Chelsea in December. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
Really good. And then obviously against Leeds, I thought they were good as well. I mean, I think towards the end they conceded. Arsenal score goals, like they're clinical. That's the problem I have with them. They can score. So I'm just hoping defensively we're ready for them. I think Aubameyang could get something. So I really want us to win. I think it might be another 3-1. Same with Everton. I think they'll score. But I'm hoping we can score a few more. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I actually think it will be closer than people think. I'd say 2-1. I think they will score. Their form seems to be getting a bit better. So I don't think it's going to be like this people are saying City are going to turn up and blow them away. Like, that's not going to happen. But I think we will edge it. On the form that we're in at the moment, I just can't see how we don't win. But I do think it will be a challenge. But again, it depends who scores first. If City scored 2 early goals, you know, I think we could go on and win by more. But yeah, it would depend. If they get the first goal, change everything. So yeah, we'll have to see. But what I do love about City this season is they're doing things that normally they don't do.
Yeah.
So like last season, if we went a goal behind, we were not winning that game. Like even the start of this season, if we went a goal behind, we were not winning the game. Whereas now, fair enough, we got the first goal against Everton, but they equalised and then we went on and won it. Whereas the start of the season, even when when West Brom equalised, it was like game done. We can't score again. Like, so I'm liking what City are doing right now. Like I'm liking what we're doing, but yeah, I think City just have a little bit too much. What's your score prediction, Flawless?
What for Arsenal City?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna roll them over, man. This is Arsenal City 3-0. We're gonna roll them over. It's gonna be the same thing as Spurs, man. We're gonna roll them over. Like Arsenal, if Arsenal were flying and were in great form going into it, you'd be like, all right, maybe they have a chance. But City are flying in terms of form. When you're winning that many games in a row, you feel untouchable. Yes, of course, the manager will do their best to keep their feet on it, for the players to keep their feet on the ground. But you feel invincible. Like you feel untouchable. Like being a Manchester United fan, I've seen it when your team goes and runs and you're winning game after game and you're in good form. There's a certain swagger, and City have that. And the thing is, you have that, and you're not even coming up against anybody else. It's not like there's a team you're playing and someone's won 4 out of their last 5 games, they're flying. Like Arsenal, there's a reason their fan base is split on their manager. They're 10th. You know what I'm saying? They're split on their manager. They're 10th. This is not the game. Arsenal fans are dreading this. There isn't even Arsenal fans. If you ask NBA and other Arsenal fans, are they confident going into this game? No. They'll take a 2-1 loss now, as they know it could easily be a 3 or 4 0. So you don't roll them over 3-0. I don't even see them scoring, to be honest. I don't see it happening.
You know what's funny though? Like, Gundogan actually said that he feels strong this season. Like he feels like he has done in past seasons where we've won the league, and you know, it's just like I'm hoping that goes into all competitions, not just the league. But yeah, City are on some amazing form. I think it'll come to an end at some point.
Of course, you'll lose at some point because obviously you don't. All it takes is a VAR decision, a refereeing decision, for your players to have an off day. But even by then, even if you lose a couple of games, who is there to take?
We could afford to lose 3 games technically.
If Liverpool were closer to you, I'd be like, all right, that's when I would be saying the league's not done. Because I said this from the jump. I said the only team that can stop City from winning the league is Liverpool. The only team that can stop Liverpool from winning the league is City. Yeah. To me, unfortunately, I believe you two. And now Liverpool are 13 points behind you lot, 16. It's done. You know what I'm saying? And that adds into the City confidence that your closest rivals who won the league last year are so far behind at this stage. You literally have nothing to worry about. So when you're saying Gundogan saying that, it makes sense. Adding the fact you lot have won, 16 games in a row? Like you can't beat that type of confidence. 17, whatever, 17. Like you lot, the confidence is through the roof.
And we're unbeaten 23. I think it was 22 before Everton. It's madness.
We were discussing this. You lot could easily go undefeated in the Premier League for the rest of the season. Not win every game, but could easily go undefeated. Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, I think it'll be more annoying if we go undefeated, simply because, like, it's just like the games that we've lost. But anyway, like, we'll have to next season. We'll have to come back again, and I think if our defense is as strong as it's been this season, you know, like, because if you think about it, we've conceded something like 15 goals, and 5 of them were in one game. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if City's defense continues like this next season, we might have a very low goal difference, a very low goals conceded.
Where do you think we can improve to, like, obviously come back again next season? Because I feel like we need to still sign people for next season.
Yeah, I think we definitely need a striker because
Very,
even this false
very
nine
valid point, Rose.
Yeah.
has worked. Like the false nine thing has worked to a T. Like it's been brilliant. But there are them games where you think, oh, Sergio was on the pitch. This game would be done. Like, you know, them sort of draws that we got at the start of the season, the Leicester game. Like, he loves a goal against Leicester. Like, I've seen him score 4 goals against Leicester in one game when he wasn't playing good. So, yeah, it's madness. So I think definitely a striker. I'd like to see Haaland. I don't know if Martinez is more Pep, more City. I don't know. But I would quite like to see Haaland just because, for me, the age that he is. Like, people talk about Foden, Saka. Like, Haaland is younger than Foden. Like,
Yeah.
obviously they're the same age, but he's like 100 days younger. And look at the numbers that he's putting up already. So, yeah, he is going to be something else. To get him in a team with like a Foden who's 20, a Ruben Diaz that's 23, like to get him in with these players, like City could build something that lasts a long time. So yeah, I would love to see him. I don't know, like if Messi's available, I would take Messi just because he in himself, like getting him in is gonna lift every single player that we've got. It's almost like Pep came in and improved everyone. I feel like Messi comes in, everyone steps their game up. Like I always say this, like these kids, Foden has been watching Messi since he was a child. Like to play, like it's bad enough that he's playing next to David Silva, who was like his idol. Put on top of that, Messi, who is the best player that I've seen, you know, in my like, obviously I preferred like Ronaldinho, but in terms of like my watching football years, Messi has been the best player. And you can argue Cristiano Ronaldo. But, you know, it's unreal. And I think for these players to be playing with Messi, like, it's just madness. And I think they step their game up big time if he comes in. So, yeah, I would probably say we need a left back eventually, but I don't think City will spend any more money on our defence right now. And we need a Fernandinho replacement just because even though Rodri's playing well, we need another option. If Rodri gets injured and Fernandinho is not here, there's a hole in the squad. So we definitely need someone there. Who would you buy?
Yeah, no, I think we need a defensive midfielder. I think we need a striker. I do think we need a new not like a new left back, but we do still need. I don't know if Mendy's going to stay. I don't know. I'm still a bit. I don't know about Mendy. He just gets too many injuries, and obviously what he does, well, I don't really like it that much. So I think he might be someone that he might leave. I think Zinchenko's been really good. Still feel like we do need like a backup as well. Like what Pep's doing with Zinchenko. But yeah, like when we play Laporte there, I just feel like it's not the same as Zinchenko. I mean, Laporte is just like, he's a defender. I think he plays centre back. So yeah, I'd like to see us to get a left back maybe. I think right backs, Kyle Walker and Cancelo. I mean, doesn't really get much better than that. I think it's just those 3 areas. I think.
Yeah.
What about Mahrez as well? Like, do you think Mahrez is playing well, but like, do you think he could potentially leave?
You're not trying to shut Mahrez, innit? You know what I'm saying?
No.
Trying to get rid of him and that.
Do you know what it is with Mahrez? Like, I feel like we're kind of. Do you know how like you get a player in a team and you're like, they're stunting their growth, if you know what I mean? Like they could be killing it elsewhere, but they're at your club. I feel like Mahrez is better than a bench player who plays sometimes. Like he's too good to not play all the time. And it's kind of like Sane. Like Sane was too good to not play every game, so he left. So I could see Mahrez potentially leaving for himself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like if you're sat in a City squad, you're gonna
Southampton. Sorry to cut you off. Southampton are a goal up against Chelsea. All right, cool. Make sure I go onto the Chelsea watch along on the Chelsea channel. Make sure I jump on that. Definitely.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Lewis sent me the link.
Wrap up in like 5 minutes, but yeah, like this sort of thing, like it's for him sitting in a City squad, knowing that the Champions League might come soon, like unless Bayern Munich come in for him or a PSG, I just can't see him leaving. I think he will stay at City.
Yeah.
For his own development, he might leave. And I think if City win the Champions League this year, he'll leave because he's won everything. And he's won the Prem more than once. He's won every trophy at City, and I think he will move on. And to be honest, if Mahrez wins the Champions League, I know he's not won the World Cup, but he's won the African Cup of Nations, which is kind of the best thing that Algeria.
I didn't know he won the African Cup of Nations. That's mad.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
A few years ago, and he was like man of the match in the final. I think he scored the winning goal or one of them. Like, this is what I'm saying. He might have won everything.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
so I
right,
will leave City if he wins the Champions League. I do think he will. But you know what? Mahrez is incredibly underrated, and I underrate him a little bit myself because at City,
we know. We're fully aware.
And it's like Ryan with Salah. Like, they are fantastic players, but when you watch them week in, week out, they are quite frustrating. And I think Mahrez is one of them because we know he's got the quality. Like, there's players at City like Zinchenko, good left back for us, decent player. But if he has a bad game, it's kind of like I'm not expecting to see world-class performances from Zinchenko. So when we get them, it's like, wow. When we don't get them, it's like, okay, fair enough. But Mahrez, when we get world-class performances, that's what I expect to see from Mahrez. Like, Mahrez is that player. And then when he has poor performances, it's like, Mahrez, what are you doing? Because you're better than this. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what the issue is for me with Mahrez. Like, it's not that I don't rate him, because I do. And the fact that I rate him is why I get onto him sometimes, because I think he's better than what we get from him sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And we've seen it with Everton, that goal. Unreal. Do you know what I mean? That's Mahrez. But yeah, Ultra Firstian said 2-0 City. What's it called? 1 minute. It keeps going. When Flawless comes back, we'll get him back. Ryan says 3-0 Sterling against Ballerina. Oh yeah. MBAFC says you two have been too nice, and Rose, I respect you, but clinical, come on. Vignesh says in the last 3 months we trailed only to Cheltenham Town. Very true. Charlie says can't wait to sing Champions of England. We know what we are. You know, I do feel a little bit. I don't feel sorry for them because they deserve it a little bit. But Liverpool fans, man, imagine winning the league and you can't even sing that you're champions like the whole season. And the thing is, even if fans get back into the stadium at some point this season, like, the league might be done. So it's kind of like you can't even sing we're the champions anymore. Like, it's just madness. Ryan said Arsenal are only 6 points behind us. We're a disgrace, and this is why we're the worst champions of all time. We'll see at the end of the season. Charlie says, do you think we can win the UCL? This season, I don't know. I feel like City need to get to a final first before they win it. People don't normally go and win their first final. I think City would have to go there, experience the loss. Saying that, we've got people like Gundogan that have experienced that, and he's got his heart set on the Champions League. And we've seen over the years how good Gundogan is in the Champions League. That's what he really wants to win. And yeah, I feel like players like that, if we did get to a final, and the fact we got Pep, they might even win it the first time they get there. But usually teams don't. So yeah, I think we just need to take the step up. I wouldn't rush it and try and like go and win it and then, you know, half the team leave because they've done what they like. I think City needs to take the steps up so that when we do win it, we can win it again. I don't want to just win it once and then fall off a cliff. But yeah, do you think we can win it, Rose?
I think we can, but do I think we'll win it this season? I don't know. I think, and I think it might just be a mentality thing in the end.
I do, yeah.
We've just never won it before. I mean, it would be amazing if we won it this season, but
oh my god, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, originally I was a little bit like, oh, I want to be there when we win it, but like I don't care now. Just win it. People can shut up, and then we'll go win it again when I'm there. Like Neek says, 5-0 win or Pep has to go. Simple. Yeah, we'll swap him with Ollie. Charlie says left back and a striker. Neek says, Yannicka, why do you need a striker? You have Gavi. Yeah, we do have Gavi, but Gavi is not Aguero, so we need an Aguero. Vignesh says, apparently Aguero is leaving this summer. I think that all depends on Messi. I think if Messi comes, he stays. If Messi doesn't come, he goes. I think that's how it will be. But it'd be really strange if Messi came in and Aguero left, because they've always said they want to play together. So I think it'd be really strange. But we will see.
They play together on an international front, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it failed.
they've always said they want to play together at a club. But remember, Messi used to say to Aguero, if you want to play with me, you're going to have to come to Barcelona because I'm not leaving. That's what he used to say. And Messi and Aguero used to say no. But obviously now, Messi isn't as happy as he was before. Yeah. So we'll see. We will sell. I think that means sell Mendy and keep Zinchenko, Mr. Consistent. I can see Mendy leaving.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, he needs to get into some form first because they're not going to want to sell him cheaply. So he needs to prove himself a little bit more, but I don't know if he'll get that chance. If Aguero leaves, we won't get Messi. I agree. I think that whole thing. I think if Messi comes in, Aguero won't leave. I think that's what it'll be. Neeks says left back and striker and City are sorted. Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
Very much so.
Fernandinho. I think we will see Aki at left back as well next season. Yeah, I would like to see that, to be honest. I like Aki. Charlie says Mahrez needs to be sold. He's inconsistent. He is inconsistent, but I think his inconsistency comes from him being in and out of the team. I don't think it's to do with him not being good enough for City. I just think the system that we play hinders him a little bit because he likes to be the guy that you put the ball out to, and he goes and does some madness on the wing. He doesn't get as much space at City as well. So, yeah, I don't know. But I don't think we should sell him, but I do think he will leave eventually. Big Ness says Zakaria would be a good option as a replacement for Fernandinho. He has been linked with City a few times, actually. So we'll have to see. MB says, if Mendy didn't suffer so many injuries, he'd be great, especially when you consider how well he started off at City. I agree. I love Mendy, but he's just not doing it. Look, he scored for Southampton. Oh, God. That's so funny. Oh, God.
Garage MC, man. Minamino. That's what that sounds like. He sounds like a Garage MC. JV was right. You know what I'm saying? Minamino. That's what it sounds like.
True this. Zinchenko cost 1.9 million. Yeah, but people don't like to talk.
Yeah.
People don't like to talk about the players that we got cheap. They want to talk about the players that we spent a lot of money on. Like, could you imagine if Gavi was like a 7 million? They'd be saying, oh, he's a fraud. Because he was quite cheap, people ain't talking about it. You know, people ain't. Winning it with no fans, I'm going to Istanbul. Do you know what? They are trialing fans towards the end of the season. So I'm hoping the Champions League is one of them games. But the problem is there ain't going to be that many people. And there's a lot of City fans with way more points than me. And because we've not been here this season, I'm not even on like a cup scheme. So, yeah, I don't think I'd be going regardless. But I would love to. And just before we go, Ryan says, flawless, how has it been being the second ever guest on GyalDem City with the two queens?
It's been great, first and foremost, being on here with the two queens. And secondly, yeah, man, being the second guest, because I can't remember who that first guest was, but he was a complete nub in it. So, you know, we had to up the bar with the special guests and that. So, yeah, I've loved it. It's been great being on here. And even though I only got the invite from Yan City out of spite, but she was like, you won't get up early. I appreciate you having me on. It's been great.
Yeah, it's fine. You know what? Come back on at the end of the season if City win it. We'll have a Man City champions party. If we win the Champions League, it'll be a long stream where we just drink.
Yeah,
and have.
I'm not involved. I'll I'll be drinking off air to drown my sorrows. I ain't jumping on that. You know what I'm saying? Coming to
Good.
celebrate. Are you mad?
But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe to the channel, join the membership. There's some great perks. And yeah, if you sign up to the general, I think you can come on GyalDem City if you want. So yeah, if you want to be on this show, subscribe, join the membership, and yeah, become a general, and then you can join me and Rose on the show. Or you can join any show of your choice, I think. So yeah.
Yes, any weekly show she's right. So that's just one of the perks on there. Any show of your choosing, so it can be GyalDem City. So you might be a Liverpool fan and be like, you know, I want to go on GyalDem City, or you could be a Chelsea fan, want to go on Man United. So it's of your choice.
Yeah.
Plenty of perks. Underneath this video and all the other ones is the link for the Sarcasm City TV membership. So many great perks. Ability to buy Sarcasm City merch, guest appearance on the Q&A, shout at the start of certain shows, plus more. So much.
Yep. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week, hopefully at the same time. Bye.